Hi all, and happy December. I thought I would kind of perhaps tell you my plans for this December, this month, and maybe as an extra little bonus have some extra videos throughout the month. But just in case you're new around here, here's a quick introduction. Hi there, I'm Stacy, the encaustic mixed media artist behind Studio Stacy. Encaustic literally means to burn in. So I paint with beeswax and a torch, and because it's mixed media, pretty much anything else I can get my hands on. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Consider subscribing and joining this artsy community. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, which helps me get introduced to more like-minded artsy folks like yourself. All right, so my plans for this month, I was thinking about doing a Vlogmas. However, I know I'm not going to have time to do a video every single day. And if you hear that clicking in the background, that's because the griddles are on, the wax is heating up. But what I thought I might do is perhaps 2 videos a week. So my normal release on Tuesday, and then either I'm thinking Thursday most likely or Friday, but I'm thinking probably on Thursdays. But stay tuned for that. And also consider, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and hit that bell, and that will notify you whenever I do release a new video. You'll just get a quick little notification, yay, Studio Stacy, new video. At any rate, that's kind of my tentative plan for a Vlogmas, and that is 2 videos a week throughout the month of December. So all the way up until the 31st, whatever day that is. And I thought what I would do in those videos is do some mini little paintings, the 4x4 paintings that I do on the mat board, like the 25 native West Virginia trees, and the previous one was the mini explorations. So I thought I would do a series, again, these 4x4 mini paintings for the month of December. And I've already have those mat board pieces cut and prepped with several layers of encaustic medium and some encaustic white paint. I did that previously just to kind of get myself set up in the hopes of being able to accomplish this goal. And you might be wondering when I'm planning on painting on these little 4x4 mat boards. And I thought, kind of to have a theme, somewhat of a theme, I thought I would do different art styles or different art movements. And I thought that could be interesting. And if you've been with me here a little while, you know I am in a whole tree obsession. So I thought I would take that tree obsession and bring it into these different art movements. So they're kind of going to be somewhat tree themed or nature themed is my plan. Who knows if this is actually going to happen, but that's kind of the thoughts that are going around in my head. And I think what I'm going to do is take like the first couple days here of Vlogmas, maybe even the first couple weeks, and see if this is really going to work out. See if my schedule will allow for to paint 2 paintings a week and to also edit 2 videos a week. Time will tell. I don't want to stress myself out too much over this, but I would like to kind of, I don't know, treat you all. I thought it would be a nice little bonus, added bonus for the month of December. And I don't know, kind of like as a little thank you gift to all of you for following along this past year. And yeah, liking, subscribing, commenting, all of the stuff that I so appreciate all of you doing. So I thought this could be a nice little treat, but I don't want to stress myself out too much, so I'm making no promises. I will let you know as I go along if for some reason something changes here. All right, so now that you know my plans for the month of December, in today's video, the plan is to do Cubism for my art movement for the very first art style or art movement. I have chosen Cubism. So maybe we should perhaps get to painting now. I forgot to mention one other thing about these videos. I'm also hoping to kind of take you around town here, take you around West Virginia, and perhaps show you what we get up to this holiday season. Maybe I'll throw in a few little dinner plans, things like that. Not dinner plans, but me cooking dinner, really. A few perhaps recipes, things like that. Just kind of the general holiday spirit also throughout these videos. That's my plan. All right, now let's get to painting. I think that's it. I think I'm done jibber jabbering here. All right, so here's a brief explanation or a brief description of what Cubism is. Cubism was created by Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque in Paris between 1907 and 1914. The art style is considered a type of modern art that's quite abstract and makes use of geometric shapes. The Cubist painters rejected the concept that artists should adopt the traditional techniques of perspective and wanted instead to discover the true essence of a subject. So they studied the subject from every possible angle and explored this, emphasizing the two-dimensionality of the canvas. By reducing traditional subjects into geometric forms, the hope is that the artist and the viewer can better discover the subject's essence rather than a surface-level appearance. The term Cubism was coined by Louis Vassal, a 20th century art critic, and when writing a critique of artist Georges Braque's landscape work, he identified the geometric shapes and referred to them as cubes. And while the term was supposed to be a negative critique, by 1911, Cubism was a popular term used by the public to describe the revolutionary artistic style. An important lesson here for any artist: block out the critics and keep creating. Cubism opened the door to how artists can create an experience through their work rather than by simply depicting a realistic form. Later on, Cubism came to include the use of collages and more three-dimensional effects. I took a bit of liberty with this style, as still lifes were popular among Cubist painters and landscapes were rather rare. However, I wanted to put my own twist on this style. So now that you know a little bit more about Cubism, you can sit back, enjoy the music, and let's see how this painting turns out. what do you think? There is Cubism. And it's a little bit there. Maybe that's a little bit truer to the color. It's showing up a little dark there. Anyways, first little mini painting done here in December. Now I think I'm just gonna get this griddle cleaned up, kind of make sure the space is completely cleaned up for the next studio session. I'm gonna try to do that so I don't leave myself a messy griddle and a messy studio, and that way I can just come in and get right to painting. So that's the last thing left to do in here. So let's get to cleaning up. All right, so I think I'm gonna let you go here for this one, unless of course something exciting happens a bit later this evening, if we see any Christmassy things or anything like that. But I am gonna let you go here for this one and hopefully be picking you back up shortly. So stay tuned for that. If you did like this, please give it a big thumbs up. It truly, truly does help me out. If you're not subscribed, like I said earlier, consider subscribing, and thank you again for coming along. See you on the next one. Bye for now.